Giants week, so always a good opportunity for us against the Giants. It's the good organization, good football team. I think competing against them at the end of the preseason's always a good way to finish up the preseason and get ready to go and start the season. So I think Coach Shermer's done a great job down there, really returning to fundamentals, basics, and you can certainly see that in their play in all three phases of the game. And this is a long week for us, or full week, Thursday to Thursday, so a lot different than last week. So hopefully we can get a lot of things done in terms of moving forward, improving our team, and taking a final look at the competition on the roster and making some decisions at the end of the week, and then moving on. So we're at.
Bill, Marius Thomas started practicing again for you guys. He spoke to us yesterday. Felt like, some days he feels like he has some pretty good explosiveness. Some days maybe not so much. What have you seen from him in the short time that you have had him out there? What he's brought to you guys in practice?
Yeah. Well, we'll just take it day by day. Certainly he's done some impressive things. But it's stringing them together. It's being able to do it on a consistent basis and come back and do it again. So maybe that's pretty much everybody's situation. He just entered into it a little bit later, but we've had guys that are in that category. The guys that have already gone through that for this year. So we'll just take it day by day.
Similar with Josh Gordon being back, right?
Same thing.
What are your impressions of his physical condition since he's been gone from organized football?
Yeah, we'll just take it day by day.
One of the things that we hear a lot, and when you get to training camp, is that you haven't coached a game, no one has played at that point, so you have to reestablish yourself every year. Along those lines, with the coaching staff, how do you feel things have come together with the staff, since the start of camp to now?
Yeah, we're making progress. I think we're certainly sharper than we were, which wasn't very sharp. But it'll be a lot different when we get into more situational football and teams start strategizing and game planning more than really they have at this time of year. I don't think any of the three teams we played they game plan much. We didn't game plan much, just trying to go out there and give the players an opportunity to work on their fundamentals, do the things that they know, and evaluate them based on that, rather than trying to evaluate the team on triple reverses and stuff like that. And that's not really what this is for. So it'll certainly get a lot more challenging.
Do you have a good idea of what your 53 is going to look like, or can jobs still be won on Thursday night?
Depends on what happens Thursday night. I don't know. Yeah, well, look, there's a lot of moving parts at this time of year, so I don't think anybody really knows. There's other factors externally that could affect us as well. We don't even know what those are. So, we'll just see how it goes, try to do the best we can and put together the most competitive team we can this year. And I don't know exactly how that's going to work out.
Is it tough monitoring 31 other teams this week while you're trying to do your own team as well?
Yeah, I don't do that. That's why we have a pro personnel department. I think Nick and Dave Ziegler and the guys in that department do a great job. I think they're on top of it. I can ask them about any player in the league, and they can tell me what that player's situation is, who he's in competition with, how he's looked, what games he's played in, better than last year, not as good as last year, whatever it is. They can, they'll be on all those guys. And that 1,300 guys or whatever that'll be some kind of transaction with, 1,300 plus that'll have a transaction here in the next few days. There'll be very few, if any, guys that we'll be way over the 1,300. We're looking at like maybe 1,800, and then some guys are going to make it, some guys aren't. But the guys that are there will have will be on. So I'd be surprised if there was somebody in that group that we haven't looked at tape on, had a preseason evaluation on, and we're up to speed with. No, that's what the pro personnel department does.
Real quick, I wanted to ask you about the big news from the weekend. Andrew Luck obviously surprisingly retired. Just you faced him, I think, 6 times. What was it like going against Andrew Luck?
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I haven't really followed them. So, you know, we all have to make our decisions. He made his. I respect it.
Is there a, would you say there's a competition for that backup quarterback spot, or is that Brian Hoyer's job?
There's competition everywhere across the board.
Bill, entering this preseason, you were going to face some pretty large changes in the tight end position anyway. Since then, you've had some injuries during camp. You had 2 players that are facing suspensions going into the season. Has all that made it more difficult for you to implement whatever plans you had for the position?
A lot of it was just to see how the competition played out, and that's pretty much what it's been this spring training camp, preseason games. So we'll continue to do that. Yeah, the players that won't be available for a portion or a small portion of the season, yeah, it is what it is. We've dealt with that before. A lot of teams in the league have to deal with that. So we'll just, that's something, just part of the equation that we'll have to figure out.
As far as roster competition goes, how do you evaluate some of the guys who have to miss the last few weeks with injuries?
Let's do the best we can.
Bill, you mentioned the coaching staff has come along this summer and I guess showed some improvements. You said it wasn't very sharp at one point. What about it wasn't very sharp?
Well, I hadn't coached a game in 6 months.
So the game.
If you stop doing something for 6 months, do you think you'd be as good at it as if you had done it every day for the previous 6 months? Of course not. So that's what training camp's for. It's what preseason games are for.
I didn't know if it was game specific versus meetings or practices or.
Well, you go for a long time without. I mean, look, you watch practice out there. You know, you train your eyes, you train your reflexes, and you process things a lot quicker when you're familiar with it. When you've been doing it, when you've been looking at off-season tape and evaluating college players and doing other projects and things like that. You're not working on that. It's not a bad thing. It's just reality. So to go from not coaching a game in 6 months and think that, and me to sit here and tell you like I'm as sharp as I was 6 months ago when I had done it every day, every week for the previous 6 months. I mean, I can't say that. I can't imagine anybody could say that.
Let's take 2 more. Bill?
I'm Morten from Danish TV2. Can you put a few words on the Danish guy, Hjalte Froholt, 64? What is he like as a player, and what do you think of his performance so far?
Yeah, he's worked hard. Good kid, really good kid. Healthy. He's out there every day. Gets better. Got a long way to go, but he's improving, and we'll just see where it goes. But he's certainly a good player to work with. He's got a lot of strengths and attributes that you like to work with as a player. Needs experience, needs to fine-tune some things, but he's working hard at those and they're getting better.
Bill, understanding each decision is a case-by-case basis, what factors outside of health might lead you to cut ties with the player before a fourth preseason game or even before Friday or Saturday when you're up against the deadline?
Well, whatever's best for the football team is those are what the factors are. So if the decision is what we feel is best for the team, then we make it. A lot of factors go into that. Someone, Bob?
Yeah, Bill, with Gunnar Olszewski, learning a new position, but also learning a new position, having played on the other side of the ball in college, what was it that he showed you conceptually that he could grasp the offense and come in here at least, be in position to make an impression?
Yeah, I mean, he's really started from the bottom up. I think we needed a little depth on the roster that particular point in time this spring. We worked some players out, and felt like he would be worth working with. He's consistently gotten better, improved in the things that we've asked him to do. Again, he's got a long way to go too, but he showed a lot of improvement. Been out there every day, works hard, he gets better. I think he's got some physical skill to work with. Not a real big guy, but he's tough, competitive, runs well. So keep working with him as long as we can. Keep working with all these guys as long as we can. At some point, we're going to have to make roster decisions and work with fewer players, and then we'll do what we think is best for the team at that point. All right. Okay. Thank you.